Having taken a close look at the Traxxas Slash 4x4, my first upgrade will protect the steering servo and bell crank setup with the help of the RPM Bulkhead. The RPM Front Bulkhead package comes complete with a chassis mount, a differential mount, and 3 M4 12mm screws. Oh, and some RPM stickers too. Installing the set is a slightly involved process, including dismantling the front end of the vehicle somewhat, so let's get stuck straight in. We'll begin by removing any body clips, followed by the body itself. With access to the inside of the vehicle, we'll concentrate on the front end assembly and begin by removing it from the chassis. You'll notice the audio box attached to the front chassis, which we can leave attached in this case with no need to touch it at all. Instead, we work around the audio box and remove 2 screws at the top, another 2 on the inside at either end of the chassis, and after flipping the vehicle over, we remove the screw that holds the steering linkage to the bell cranks. We can then remove the front assembly from the chassis. If the center driveline comes out, it can easily be reinserted later, so set it to one side for now. Next, we need to remove the front bumper by removing the 2 screws on top and 3 on bottom. And the bumper comes away with ease. With the bumper removed, we remove the single screw holding this metal plate in place, along with a final 2 screws on the bottom. After which we can remove the 2 pins holding the A-arms to the bulkhead. Now we can remove the lower skid plate from the bulkhead, although it's still attached to the steering bell cranks with 2 screws, one at each end, both of which need to be removed, taking care not to lose the small spaces. Before we can safely remove the bell cranks, being careful not to damage any bearings in the process, and reinserting into the bell cranks if need be. It's a good idea to now remove the steering linkage arm from the main chassis and attach it back to the bell cranks, as this will make reinstallation easier in a while. Now we're ready to install the new RPM Bulkhead. Begin by reinserting the bell cranks down onto the chassis plate, after which we can reinstall the 2 screws, keeping them firmly in place, taking care not to over tighten, and don't forget those tiny washers. Now we can attach the RPM differential mount to the bottom of the bulkhead between the A-arms, after which we reinstall the 2 screws holding it firmly in place. Next we can line up the front A-arms and slide the pins back into place, after which we reattach the aluminum plate curved side up and reinstall the single screw. Next we install the front bumper. With it in place, we insert the 3 screws in the bottom and the 2 up above. With the front bumper back on, we can install the front assembly back onto the chassis, starting with the steering linkage, after which the assembly can slide back into place on the chassis, taking care to line up the steering bell cranks with the notches in the underside of the chassis, and reattach using the 2 screws on either side. Now slide in the front, taking care to line up the drive shaft and attach the 2 screws up top, and the 3 screws supplied with the RPM Bulkhead kit down below. And that's all there is to it. You'll notice the side walls and the 2 holes from the stock skid plate have now been filled, keeping more of the debris away from the steering linkages. A fantastic upgrade. Join me in the next video where we'll move on to upgrading the center drive shaft and outdrives.